All right, problem 4.5, millimeters, grams, and seconds. The part origin is located, well, we see that it's the bottom, oh my goodness, at the at the center. So that's going to drive our geometry a little bit there. So let's start with a vertical center line, and we'll generate that radius. That's a strange place to put that, by the way. So that's my reaction. Lines, center lines, circles, extruded boss, extruded cut, fillets, and chamfers. All of that looks pretty straightforward. Um, Based on the isometric view, before I get away from that, since that radius is a driving geometry, we will want to start in the right plane, and that will get us started. All right, so front plane, yeah, right plane sketch. I'm not going to mess with the arc. We're going to go to our circle, and we had 160, so that would give me 320. I need to verify my math though by switching this over to radius. So right-clicking, and we go to radius. Nothing else to dimension there. Let's see. So I am a right clicker. If you just left click on it or reselect it, that'll just give you the display as radius option. All right, so next I want the center line. We're going to go infinite length, vertical, drop it on the origin. All right, so this one showed up in blue, but I'm going to leave it to see if it figures itself out at some point. So let's see, the sides have the cuts. These are going to be vertical. Do want to make sure that I don't pull in a direction if I do connect it. I don't want to pull in a direction that it thinks it is tangent. And we could come all the way across, and then our mirror just becomes select, control, select, control, select, control, select the midpoint. Let's not control select the center point in the mid. If I go into mirror entities, notice that just pre-selecting that much populates the entities to mirror, and then all I'm doing is the mirror about and looking at the preview. So if this, okay, so there it went fully defined. If this was not vertical, this side would skew a little bit. We'd have a very small angle, but it would be there and potentially create some problems. All right, so the overall for our geometry is 55 and 10 from, oh, I'm still in the dimensions, so I need to escape out of that so I can drag. All right, we'll right click and get back into the dimension. And let's go ahead and hold down the shift, and I'll show you the difference between the shift gives us that min condition going to the arc, as opposed to picking the circumference without holding down the shift. We're going to accept whatever it gives us just to clear it out. But then making sure the dimension is selected, looking at the value, we go over to the leader tab, and at the bottom we have a min condition. That's the same as holding down the shift and doing the selection. So that was 10 millimeters, not 25. There we go. So pretty close. What do we have for the width is 43. Oh, that's pretty wild. So let's see if this inverts at all or does anything. Yeah, it did kind of strange. So the result just means that I need to zoom up, drag one of those blue points to where we get a better solution. So let's see, we have 27 on the width. We'll grab the smart dimension, go 27. Again, should just be in the habit of pick your object or objects, place the dimension, enter the value. All right, so this was at the center of the part, and we're going to extrude, and our end condition will be midplane. It is multiple contours, so we need to make sure that, well, centerline is going to participate in this one for whatever reason. So we pick our two regions, and then we have an overall of 125. Okay, helps to put the 2 in there. All right, 125, and hit OK. All right, so might as well go with the right plane. No, sorry, the front plane this time. I got my orientation shifted a little bit, and we'll go rectangle and rectangle. And here's where we can, because those are the same, assuming that they're the same, it doesn't say typical or have additional dimensions. So let's go with the cutout for this side is 6 and 18 tall. And one of the things that we can do with relations is used to have to do this in 2 steps. If I select and control select the lines, I can make them collinear, which sets the height, and equal. If it jumps out, we just select again, and it puts those guys back in there for the relation. All right, my circle is going to kind of define the arc, it appears. So let's go with our diameter of 15. And from the circle to the edge is 34. And height-wise, it is 40. Okay, and then this is where we come off of the 45, and we'll go tangent, and then back over to the side. So I know, and that got the midpoint, so I did not want the midpoint. That little bit of a blink is the only indicator, and right as I let go, as it snapped to the midpoint. All right, so select, control, select, tangent C, and then we're going to make the top edge and the line tangent. I guess it would help to add a coincident back in. So select, control, select the vertical line, the vertical edge, and the endpoint to make them coincident. And then we can put in some angles. So they're showing from the top, which is kind of strange, but considering that ends up being an arc, and it probably took more to detail that than it was really worth. Let's see the other angle. Well, hopefully that terminates. Let's see, there's an extension line. No extension lines to help with this one. Then we're going to make the assumption that these 2 endpoints are horizontal. All right, so radius of 15 for this guy. All right, so that gets our arc. Looks like, let's see, does our math add up? We were 55 overall and 45, so that would allow this to be concentric. All right, so it generates an over-defining condition because it doesn't really like the tangency. Oh, that was a save. I was looking for a Control Z to undo that. So let's see if it will let me go coincident. It still doesn't like it. So at this point, we know we put the tangency in there. We'll just call that a placeholder. So if I highlight the box, I can delete the tangency just by hitting delete on the keyboard, or when we highlight the arc, we would find that first tangency and delete it from the list. All right, so that looks pretty good. We're going to feature extrude cut, and we're going to go back to through all both. And our contour then is going to be, oh, it's open. So this creates a situation where I have an open and a closed sketch, and very likely um, it is not going to like the zero thickness where that touches. Even though it doesn't say tangent, we know from our geometry that it was. So if I go to close this off, keep in mind if these were two separate geometries, we could go ahead and just cut it as an open, but I think it's probably safer just to go ahead and close it off. So I have a region, or region, and a region. These are all discrete, and a region. These are all discrete. They will, since they're all closed off, it's not even going to ask me for this to select the contours. So I could have probably gotten away with selecting the hole in the two edges and then gone back in a separate sketch and made that cut. But again, we're doing a little bit on the speed side, and I don't want to get into the open profiles until later. All right, so radius of 5 on the edges. Let's just go fillet, and I don't see any others, so 5, since we're highlighted in the blue over on the property manager. And we'll just go ahead and select the 4 since it's not too crazy to grab those. I don't know that any of these are going to give me a lot more probably than I really need. So radius of 5 typical. That looks okay on the geometry, and we had what 107,923. So let's go ahead and save this. And this was problem 4.5. Oh yeah, going in sequence. Evaluate mass properties, and we are at 107,922.9. No, yeah, 107,922.6. So yeah, we'll call that one pretty darn close.